The truth about the Clear Cooperation Policy, or CCP. Good morning, good evening, and good day. Welcome back to the Let's Get Realty podcast, where we get real about real estate, where we tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and where we get real about reality. This is a safe space to talk about reality in today's world, formerly known as the Eastside Real Estate Podcast. I'm Jason Cook, your go-to realtor for all things housing in the greater Seattle, Bellevue areas. Whether you're a home buyer, investor, or just a housing market nerd like me, this episode is packed with some juicy real estate insights. Today, we're diving into the topic that's making waves across the country and in the real estate world. No, it's not whether open houses should serve cookies or charcuterie boards. Charcuterie board? Yeah. Although there's strong opinions there too. We're talking about the Clear Cooperation Policy, CCP. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, or you're just nosy about real estate, again, no judgment. This is one of those behind the scenes policies that actually affects you, even if you've never heard about it. So let's unpack it. We'll look at the CCP, what it is, why people are suddenly arguing about it, who's trying to change it, and most importantly, what this all means to you, the consumer. Isn't that what this is all about? So what is the Clear Cooperation Policy? The CCP is a rule created by the National Association of Realtors, NAR, back in 2020. The idea was simple. Just a very simple theory. If a real estate agent starts marketing a home to the public, like putting up a sign in the yard matters, blasting it on Instagram, sending a mass email, etc., they must list that property in the MLS within one business day. Makes sense. So why does this matter? Because the MLS, Multiple Listing Service, is the place where properties are shared with every other real estate agent and every buyer out there. It's how you make sure your home isn't only offered to a select group of people. The policy is designed to keep things fair, open, transparent, and competitive. Part 2. Why is this a big deal when it launched? Well, before CCP, agents could quietly shop around listings within their own network or even their own brokerage without exposing the home to the broader market. These were often called pocket listings or off-market deals. And yes, those can sound fancy, but they can also be limited and exclusive. Great if you're in the inner circle. Not so great if you're not. 2% much? So NAR said, let's level the playing field. That's weird. So CCP was their way of saying you can't dangle a listing out in front of the public and then hide it from everyone else. Makes sense a little bit, right? Part 3. Enter the drama. A national brokerage and their CEO, which will go nameless here, kind of made a big swatted the bee's nest, in 2025. They, one of the biggest brokerages in the country, and their CEO started publicly criticizing the CCP. They basically said that this policy limits the seller's choices. They said it might even be anti-competitive. And wait for it, could expose the MLS to legal risk. The CEO even predicted that the CCP would be dead by the end of this year. They're not just talking about it. This brokerage has been pushing the limits, suggesting, this company kind of goes about their own direction on things. They suggested that local MLSs that they should drop this policy or face legal pressure. Now, let's cut locally. The local response. Obi Jacoby, Windermere. They come out, they're not pounding their chest, they create a statement on what their thoughts are about the CCP and their opinions of it. So Obi Jacoby, his take was that this brokerage is prioritizing double-ending deals and keeping the inventory to themselves. He says that the CCP helps protect consumers by ensuring equal access, stronger competition, and get this, better sale prices for sellers. Weird. Do you want to sell to the lowest bidder? I don't. Because here's the reality. When more people see your listing, there's more demand. More demand usually means a better deal. Thank you, Obi. Part 5. So who's right? Let's weigh the pros and cons. The pros. CCP is good. Transparency. The CCP makes sure that everyone gets a shot at every listing, whether you're a boutique brokerage or a national brand. I like boutique-y. It's cool. No backroom deals, no secret off-market exclusives. Hey, I got something for you, Johnny. Everyone plays on the same board. That's what it's about. Now, you're a first-time buyer in Bellevue, working with an independent agent. Without CCP, that dream home in West Bellevue might have already sold behind closed doors to someone in an agent's inner circle. With CCP, it hits the MLS, and you get a chance. Kind of like that one. 2, fair competition. It prevents agents from hoarding listings and prevents double-ending them. Double-ending means one agent represents both the buyer and the seller. Legal? Yeah. It's sure. Dual agency is allowed in our state. Always in the client's best interest. Not always. Here's an example. Let's just say this national brokerage agent gets a listing and immediately sells it to their own buyer. Cool for them. They didn't have to compete. Not so cool for the seller, who might have gotten multiple offers and maybe even a better price with full market exposure. 3, promotes fair housing. Yeah, that fair housing law. Oh gosh. Oh, is it law? Yeah, it is. By listing on the MLS, you ensure that everyone, no matter race, no matter background, or income level, can see and access all the homes. Here's an example. If a home is only marketed within a private social circle, 1%ers, certain buyers may never know about it that is even for sale. That's where things get murky with fair housing laws, and the CCP helps avoid that. Now, it sounds like I'm kind of pushing the pros on that, but let's talk about the cons. Why some say it hurts sellers. 1, less seller autonomy. Some sellers may want privacy. Maybe they're going through a life event or just value discretion. Maybe a divorce. CCP forces public exposure once they so much as tease the properties for sale. Here's an example. A high net worth seller in Medina doesn't want photos online. Their agent puts a subtle coming soon on Instagram. Boom! Now they're on the MLS clock. They got to get it on there. Okay, maybe they didn't want it. Maybe we wanted a quiet listing. 2, cons. Legal risk and antitrust concerns. Critics say require the MLS listing could violate antitrust laws since it forces the agents to use one system, potentially limiting business freedom. Here's an example. If an agent is penalized for keeping a listing off the MLS, even at their client's request, that opens the door for legal complaints, especially in highly regulated or litigious states like the United States. 3, it limits market creativity. I can't even say it. I wrote it and I can't even say it. Some agents prefer a soft launch approach, private showings, whisper listings, building buzz before going full public. CCP kills that momentum fast. Now, here's an example. A luxury home in Yarrow Point, exclusive, could benefit from a quiet launch to curated buyers before hitting the MLS. Yeah, maybe it's high net worth only people that could get to it, whatever. CCP removes that option the moment the market begins. Part 6. An update, a compromise. Today, recently, NAR introduced a new wrinkle, the delayed marketing exemption. It allows sellers to pause the listing even if they've signed with an agent, as long as no public marketing happens during that time. So if a seller needs more time to prep, paint, or just get their life together, now there's some flexibility. I kind of think that's an end around to allow them to kind of push to their inner network and their inner circle. But that's my extra 2 cents. I got to stay here. Stay neutral. Part 7. What's the best path for the consumer? Honestly, for most people, more exposure equals more buyers equals better offers. There you go. Especially in this competitive east side market like Bellevue, Issaquah, or Kirkland. The MLS is still the best way, in my humble opinion, to generate maximum interest and spark multiple offer situations. But some sellers do have unique needs. I get it. That's why the best move for all of this is to talk with a trusted agent who knows the options, knows the rules, doesn't want to break them, knows them, and puts your interests first. So what do you think? Is CCP helpful? Is it a fair rule? Or is it outdated? Kind of restrictive? Not really needed anymore? Let me know your comments below. I'd love to hear your take. What you say matters. Oh, and hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling and want a strategy that works for your goals, let's talk. No pressure, no jargon, just straight up guidance. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay awesome. By the way, DM me, email me, send a smoke signal. Okay, maybe not the last one. Let's get together. SeattleRealEstateCentral.com, Jason E. Cook at Windermere.com, 206-280-1911. And folks, the sign in the yard does matter. Be awesome.